My name is Opoka. I was born in what was then Sudan, but now, of course, it's South Sudan because we gained independence in 2011. In the beginning, journalism was a bit okay in South Sudan between 2006 until 2010. It was relatively good to be a journalist. There was still a couple of harassment issues here and there, but it wasn't very heavy. It wasn't a very heavy burden. From 2011, when we gained independence, there were so many changes in the structure of government in South Sudan. And that is when things started going south for a lot of us. So 2011, after celebrating independence, everything went downstream. I had to leave the country because there was an order issued by the president that journalists, lawyers, doctors should not leave the country. So we had to find a way of getting me out of the country. Journalism is like an accident. You can't plan it. You cannot plan to be a journalist. It will happen. Whatever way, how, it will happen. One of the lessons I learned very early is that if you're not being arrested, you're not doing good journalism. If you're not being beaten, you're not being recognized. The JVD program has really been instrumental in helping me to get back a little bit into journalism, but also in terms of connecting with other journalists, it did really an amazing job. Before the JVD program, my prospects of getting back into journalism were almost zero. Now we have been able to work together, the JVD, together with Alibi Investigations, to produce my podcast, my investigative podcast series, which is looking at the story of journalists and other human rights defenders and the decisions they have to make about safety, about long-term security for themselves and their family, and also about asylum. I'm working together with journalists who are trying to be safe in a very dangerous place like South Sudan.